Hello students, myself Amrita Dhar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, JIS Group. I will teach you Power System 1. Today we will discuss about general layout of a typical hydroelectric power station. This is my third lecture on the subject Power System 1. Hydroelectric power plants. Hydroelectricity is the electricity produced from hydropower. Now, a generating station which utilizes the potential energy of water at a high level for the generation of electrical energy is known as hydroelectric power station. Here, electricity is produced from the potential energy of the water. Now, in 2015, the hydropower generated 16.6% of the world's total electricity and 70% of all renewable electricity. And it was expected to increase by 3.1% each year for the next 25 years. Now, hydropower is produced in 150 countries, with the Asia Pacific region generating 33% of the global hydropower in 2013. China is the largest hydroelectricity producer, representing 16.9% of the domestic electricity use. The cost of hydroelectricity is relatively low, making it a competitive source of renewable electricity. The hydro station consumes no water unlike coal or gas plants. The typical cost of electricity from a hydro station larger than 10 megawatts is 3 to 5 US cents per kilowatt hour. Now, with a dam and reservoir, it is also a flexible source of electricity, since the amount produced by the station can be varied up or down very rapidly. As little as few seconds to adapt to changing our energy demands. Now, once a hydroelectric complex is constructed, the project produces no direct waste, and it generally has a considerably lower output level of greenhouse gases than photovoltaic power plants and certainly fossil fuels powered energy plants. Now, however, when constructed in lowland rainforest areas where in foundation of a part of the forest, the world scenario, this picture is collected from IA Electricity Information 2017, and this is a chart of world electricity production by sources. And here we can see that in 2017 the electric power generation from hydro electric power plants is 16%. Next one, operating principle of a hydroelectric power plant. Now, hydroelectric power plant is built in the hilly areas where dam is easily constructed, and a water reservoir is also easily constructed. Now, dam is created to now in hydroelectric power station, water is created by constructing the dam across the river, and the turbine and the water from the dam is led to the turbine. Now, the turbine captures the the energy in the falling water and changes the hydraulic energy into the mechanical energy, and then it drives the generator where the mechanical energy is converted into the electrical energy. Now, the hydroelectric power stations are becoming very popular because the reserves of the fuel, example oil or coal or gas, are depleting day by day. And this hydroelectric plant also helps in irrigation and controlling the flood. What are the constituents of hydroelectric power plant? The constituents of a hydroelectric power plant are hydraulic structure, water turbine, and electrical equipment. So we discuss one by one. Hydraulic structures in a hydroelectric power station include dam, spillways, headworks, surge tank, and penstoke. At first, dam. A dam is a barrier. Which stores the water and creates the water head. Now, dams are built of concrete or stone masonry, earth or rock fill. The type of arrangement depends upon the topography of the site. Now, the type of dam also depends upon the foundation condition, local material, transportation available, occurrence of earthquakes and other hazards. At most of the sites, more than one type of dam may be suitable and the one which is most economical is chosen. Next one is the spillways. These are times when the river flow exceeds the storage capacity of the reservoir. Such the situation arises during heavy rainfall or in the catchment area in order to discharge the surplus water from the storage reservoir into the river on the downstream side of the dam. Spillways are used. Spillways are constructed on the concrete piers on the top of the dam, and gates are provided between these piers, and surplus water is discharged over the crest of the dam by opening these gates. Next one is the headworks. The headworks consist of the diversion structure at the head of an intact. They generally include booms and racks for delivering floating debris, sluices for bypassing debris and sediments, and valves for controlling the flow of water to the turbine. Now, the flow of water into and through headworks should be as smooth as possible to avoid head loss and cavitation. Now, for this purpose, it is necessary to avoid sharp corners and abrupt contraction or enlargement. The fourth one is the surge tank. Now, open conduits leading water to the turbine require no protection. Okay, but this is a closed conduit. However, when closed conduits are used, protection becomes necessary to limit the abnormal pressure in the conduit. For this reason, closed conduits are always provided with a surge tank. A surge tank is a small reservoir or tank in which the water level rises or falls during the pressure swings in the conduit. Now, a surge tank is located near the beginning of the conduit. When the turbine is running at a steady load, there is no surges in the flow of water through the conduit. That is, the quantity of water flowing in the conduit is just sufficient to meet the turbine requirements. However, when the load on the turbine decreases, the governor closes the gates of turbine and reducing the water supply to the turbine. The excess water is at the lower end of the conduit rushes back to the surge tank and increases its water level. Thus, the conduit is prevented from bursting. On the other hand, when the load on the turbine increases, additional water is drawn from the surge tank to meet the increased load requirement. Hence, the surge tank overcomes the abnormal pressure in the conduit. When load on the turbine falls, acts as a reservoir during increase of load on the turbine. Last one is the penstoke. Okay. Now, penstoke are open or closed conduits which carry the water to the turbine. Here, a closed conduit penstoke is used. They are generally made of reinforced concrete or steel. Concrete penstones are suitable for low heads less than 30 meter, and as greater pressure causes rapid deterioration of the concrete. The steel penstock can be designed for any head. The thickness of the penstock increases with the head or the working pressure. Now various devices such as automatic butterfly valve shuts off the water flow through the penstock promptly if it interrupts. Various devices such as automatic butterfly valve, air valve, surge tank are provided with protection of the penstock. Automatic butterfly valve shuts off the water flow through the penstock promptly if it ruptures. Air valve maintains the air pressure inside the penstock equal to the outside the atmosphere. When the water runs out a penstock faster than it enters, a vacuum is created which may cause the penstock to collapse. Under such situation, air valves open and admits air into the penstock. To maintain the inside pressure is equal to the outside air pressure. So these are the hydraulic structures: dam, spillways, headworks, surge tank and penstock. Next one is the water turbine. Now water turbine are used to convert the energy of falling water into mechanical energy. Now there are two types of water turbine, impulse turbine and reaction turbine. First is impulse turbine. Now such turbines are used for high heads. In impulse turbine, the entire pressure of the water is converted into kinetic energy in the nozzle, and the velocity of the jet drives the wheel. It consists of a wheel fitted with elliptical buckets. Reaction turbines are used for low and medium heads. In a reaction turbine, water enters the runner partly with pressure energy and partly with velocity head. There are two types of reaction turbine: Francis turbines and Kaplan turbines. Francis turbine is used for low and medium head, whereas Kaplan turbines is used for low heads and large quantities of water. Now Francis turbine consists of an outer ring of stationary guide blades fixed to the turbine casing and inner ring of floating blades for forming the runner. Now the Francis turbine consists of an outer ring of stationary guide blades fixed to the turbine casing and the inner ring of rotating blades forming the runner. The guide blades control the flow of water to the turbine. Water flows rapidly inwards and changes to a downward direction while passing through the runner. As the water passes over the rotating blades of runner, both the pressure and the velocity of the water are reduced. This causes a turbine force which drives the turbine. Whereas Kaplan turbine, similar to Francis turbine, except that the runner of Kaplan turbine receive water axially. Water flows radially inwards through regulating gates all around the slides and changing direction in the runner to axial flow. Now this causes a reaction force which drives the turbine. Next one is the electrical equipments. The electrical equipment of an hydroelectric power station include alternators, transformers, circuit breaker and other switching and protective devices. What are the advantages of hydroelectric power station? The first one is it requires no fuel as water is used for the generation of electrical energy. Second, it is quite neat and clean as no smoke or ash is produced. Third, it requires a small running charges because water is the source of energy which is available free of cost. Fourth one is it is comparatively simple in construction and requires less maintenance. Next, it does not require a long starting time like a steam power station. In fact, such power plants can put into service instantly. Next, it is robust and has a longer life. Now, such plants are serve many purposes. In addition to the generation of electrical energy, it helps in irrigation by storing the water and controlling the flood. Now, we will discuss about disadvantages of hydroelectric power plant. First, it involves high capital cost due to construction of the dam. Now, there is uncertainty about the availability of huge amount of water due to dependence on the weather condition. Next, skilled and experienced hands are required to build the plant. And the last one, it requires high cost of transmission lines as the power plants is located in the hilly areas which are quite away from the consumers. Next, choice of site plant. First one is availability of water. Since the primary requirement of hydroelectric power plant is water, availability of huge amount of water is necessary to build such plant. Next one is storage of water. Now, there are wide variation in water supply from a river or canal during the year. This makes it necessary to store water by constructing a dam in order to ensure generation of power throughout the year. The storage helps in equalizing the flood of water. The storage helps in equalizing the flow of water, so that any excess quantity of water at a certain period of the year can be made available during times of very low flow in the river. Now, this leads to the conclusion that the site selected for a hydroelectric power plant should provide adequate facilities for erecting a dam and storage of the water. Next one, cost and type of the land. The cost and type of the land for construction of the plant should be available at a reasonable price. Further, the bearing capacity of the ground should be adequate to withstand the weight of heavy equipment to be installed. Last one is the transportation facilities. Now, the site selected for a hydroelectric plant should be accessible by rail and road, so that necessary equipment and machinery could be easily transported. So, from above points, it is clear that the ideal choice of hydropower plant is near a river in hilly areas where dam can be conveniently built and large reservoir can be obtained. Now, Koyna hydroelectric project is the largest completed hydroelectric power plant in India. It is a complex project with 4 dams, including the largest dam on the Koyna river, Maharashtra. Hence, the name is Koyna Hydroelectric Projects. The project site is in That's all from today's class. If you have any problem, please contact with me. My contact details is given on the first slide. Thank you.